Hi, John Hinn with the Pulsing Cinema here, and today's movie is 1980's Saturn III. Yes, from long ago in the year 1980. In 1980, we were like in the first, like science fiction renaissance. We were in the golden age. We were in one of those golden periods of science fiction movies, and I think we're right now we're in a golden age for science fiction movies, but that's outside the scope of this video. But I mean, we had Star Wars, which ignited a cultural revolution in science fiction. Star Wars, Superman. I mean, those films were just like a cultural science fiction atomic bomb. And at that point, if it was like a turd, you paint it shiny, and it's a science fiction movie. Any science fiction movie was hot. Science fiction properties, hot. And so this film, Saturn III, a science fiction script, hot. And the results, not so great, to be quite honest, Stars Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett. Kirk Douglas, kind of an aging, iconic star of the silver screen. Farrah Fawcett, a rising ingenue, and the big thing with this movie was Farrah Fawcett gets nude for a few seconds, she gets naked for a few seconds, and she dresses up in leathers in this sexy sci-fi, because with science fiction you had to be sci-fi, you had to be kind of sexy. So, you had that little mix, a little sweet and sour, a little sci-fi and sexy in that era. And that was Farrah in this film. So many press photos from this film with her dressed up in the sexy sci-fi gear and everything, but it was definitely kind of a creepy vibe, because Kirk Douglas is like old enough to be her father, and yet they've got this relationship that she's like, and it's in the sci-fi, and they're on they're on a moon station, they're on a station on a planet where, sex is, you just kind of take a pill, and it's kind of like free love, circa Logan's Run, where it's like just sex is a commodity, and we just kind of do it, and we get it over with, and we just kind of, disperse pleasure between us as needed. But the film, and it's basically, it all takes place on a space station or moon station or whatever, a station on a planet, deserted, a remote planet where there's only Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett as his assistant, and then this dude, Harvey Keitel, shows up, and he's supposed to, he brings in this maintenance drone, this robot, and the robot, he puts them together, he programs the robot, and the robot starts going crazy, and the robot, is like, takes over control of the space station. So Kirk Douglas has got to do his action thing and fight the robot, and Harvey Keitel is there, and so it's kind of a big and Harvey Keitel is like dubbed with like an English voice. He sounds British, because I guess nobody, Harvey Keitel's, Brooklyn accent didn't work really good. There was another Harvey Keitel movie, I think it was called Star Night, where it's like this, it takes place in like the Middle Ages, and Harvey Keitel plays like a knight, and there's like a space alien or a dude that shows up, and he's not dubbed, and it does sound kind of ridiculous. So I in some ways I don't challenge the decision to dub Harvey Keitel in this movie. So the movie was initially going to be directed by this guy, John Barry, who was a production designer, who was like a heavy production designer. He designed Clockwork Orange and Star Wars A New Hope and Superman. He was like one of the top British production designers, but apparently he didn't really have hands-on experience directing a film. And so he only directed the film for a few days. The producer, Stanley Donen, came in and was kind of like, I've got to be on set. I got to, make sure this thing stays on course. And I think it was kind of it was a split, and Stanley Donen took over for directing the film. But the film looks beautiful. I mean, the film looks like it has the gleaming. There's these hallways that are like full of illumination and gleaming metal and neon and really the film looks like a few years ahead of its time. It really looks incredible, and this killer robot in the film, this headless killer robot, is freaking, well, he has like these little periscope thing. It's a very weird design for a robot, and very incredible. Kirk Douglas is Kirk Douglas. He's doing his thing. He's doing his movie star thing. Farrah Fawcett is Farrah. She's doing her Farrah thing, and that's about it. If you wanna ogle over the nude scenes with Farrah, if you wanna watch Harvey Keitel jump around and do some weird things, and he's dressed in like this weird black suit. It looks like a still suit from David Lynch's Dune. He's dressed up in a ridiculous space suit there, and so it's got some cool sci-fi space accoutrement. It's got Farrah, and it's got Kirk, and it's got Stanley Donen, it's got John Barry, uncredited, and that's it. A hodgepodge, a mixeroo, but a fun movie. 1980s Saturn III.